All right, y'all. So today we're putting coilovers on the car, but before we do that, I have to do one thing. I have to get into uniform, so let's get it. All right, y'all. So need a sweatshirt. Obviously, it says RX-7 on it. If you haven't already, check the description. There's a link in there, thecarguytees.com. I'm trying to create some tees, mostly for myself, but if you guys like them, obviously get one too. Let's see. Today, we're putting coilovers on. Maybe not today. Maybe it's gonna be multiple days. It's a holiday, so I'll do it as I can. Shouldn't take that long. Now I have experience because I just did my Miata 4 months ago. So, yeah. So it's been 4 months since I sat in this exact same spot and put coilovers on the Miata, and now I'm doing it again 4 months later in the RX-7. So let's walk you through it. And most of the stuff is obviously in the trunk, and then up here in the hood, everything else is pretty self-explanatory. You gotta take the wheels off, and then there's a few bolts in the wheel well. So let's get to it. Let's do it real quick. I'm hoping that because of my experience, it might only take an hour, but maybe 2 hours, but let's do it. All right, so first things first, as I said, we have to take off the wheels. So these wheels, unfortunately, I'll show you guys. These wheels are supposed to be gold, but this is the color that they are now, and that's from about 32 years of fading. They do have to be refinished. I kind of like this gold, I'm not gonna lie. This looks more like a faded rose gold. This is obviously like a gold. And again, these are Ray's wheels. These are Ray's Mazda Speed wheels. These are 17 by 9 in the rear, 17 by 8 in the front. And these are MS01 Le Mans LM wheels. So Mazda Speed's all faded out, scuffs. So probably give it a good wash. The paint is bubbling. So the wheels need to be refurbished for sure. So I've already talked to somebody. I just have to get it out to them. They're like an hour and a half away, 2 hours. So with that said, if I get it out to them, they said it probably takes a week or 2 weeks, and then I can get the wheels. So that means I won't be driving the car for 2 weeks. So I'll have to wait till it's a time where I can't drive the car. So like maybe when it's snowing for too many weeks. So in the wheel well in the rear, we got a few bolts we got to remove. So the main thing is, this is a suspension right here. This is the shock. There's a bolt right here that attaches to this end link for the roll bar. So there's a bolt right here that has to be removed for this roll bar and this end link. And then this bolt has to be removed. And then this bolt can be removed. I'm gonna see if I can do it without removing it, but this bolt, essentially you remove it so this control arm is easy to maneuver, so you can take this out from beneath in the wheel well. Up here, this one has the strut bar going all the way across. There is 1 bolt, 2 bolt, 3 bolts. This bolt does not have to be removed because this is a tilting bolt, or this thing tilts essentially. So as long as it tilts and it's not stiff, I can just use that and just move it over. If not, I'll just remove this bolt. It's not a big deal. There is a center bolt right here that does not need to be removed. Maybe, I don't know. Is this a strut bolt, or is this just holding this little cap on? That's a good question. We will know when we get in there. And the same thing over this side here. So 1, 2, 3. I haven't taken these wheels out. Everything's already up, so all I have to do is pull, and same thing. Bolt, possible bolts, and that's it. In the front, it's a little bit different. So, oh, I haven't taken this one off yet. Wait. I know I've taken this one off. I guess I didn't take the wheel off yet on that one. So on this one, we have more bolts. So there is this brake line. I think this is the ABS brake line. So there's 2 bolts here. There's a bolt here for the control arm, a bolt here for the control arm, and that's all you have to remove. So once the control arm is loose, you can essentially maneuver this around. obviously there's going to be a bolt down here for the shock, and then underneath the hood, which I have not taken up yet. So let me do that. Under here, we have same thing, 1, 2, 3 bolts. This is supposed to tilt, so hopefully it does that. And then underneath here, there's another bolt, and I'm pretty sure this is the same bolt that's in the back, so this may have to get removed, because I think this hides, yeah, I don't know if y'all can see it that well, but there is a little bolt in between this little spacer here and the metal. So there's a bolt here and a bolt inside. So I think that's the same thing in the back. So there may be 4 bolts in the back on each side and 4 bolts in the front on each side, and in the hood and in the trunk. So once that's done, it should be pretty easy to put in, I hope. So let's put these coilovers on real quick. We are going to try to install this in an hour. Might take longer than that, obviously, because at the end of the day, I have a whole family, and if they call for me, I have to go. So let's hope it takes an hour. If it takes more than an hour, that's fine. If it takes 2 hours, that's fine. I have experience now. Let's hope that at the end of the day, the same thing that happened with the Miata does not happen here. And what happened with the Miata is that I told myself I didn't need to take off the control arm, and I ended up having to take off the control arm. And also, I got to get my PB blaster out, or WD-40, I don't know what I'm gonna use. I think I have both. Because at the end of the day, this car probably hasn't been touched in 30 something years, and therefore, this is probably all rusted out. I should say one thing though. These little rubber cushions or whatever are all jacked up on both the front and the back. Here's the front. So we got brittle, crusted. So yeah, I'm gonna be happy to take those off. So I think we're gonna start with the front. This front is a little bit harder, more difficult. So let's do that. So we did get the front coilovers on. However, which is unfortunate, the back ones, I can't seem to get this bolt off. That's literally, I gotta get this bolt off so I can get this bolt off, and that's literally everything, but I can't get them off. So it's already broken 2 of my sockets. It's stuck on there, and it's because they put all this paint, undercarriage paint or whatever, to hide all the rust or whatever they're doing with it, but it's everywhere obviously. But it was caked on here, and I'm assuming it's caked on in the crevices too, so I can't get it off. And it's the same problem on this side. Same thing, can't get this bolt off, so I can get this bolt off, and that's literally just 2 bolts, people, 2 bolts. Can't get them off. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay, so before I put this wheel back on, I ended up getting this coilover on in the rear. So I was reading, and I read somewhere that this right here, this little bolt, essentially if you take that bolt off first, sometimes this bolt is easier to put on. So I tried that, didn't not really help me any. So I'll go to the other side real quick. On this side, I have done the same thing. I have loosened this. It's just on there with the bolt, and still this does not come out. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I have beat the bolt. I have stepped on the breaker bar, put my whole weight on it. It won't budge. I'm glad, honestly, I'm glad that it hasn't broken, because as much as I've done to it, it should have broke by now, but I'm glad that it hasn't. But what do? I don't even know. So I'm gonna keep trying. This is the only one I have left. Honestly, once you have the bolts off, they're super easy, front, back, all of them. So I don't know why these bolts are so hard to take off, but I have one left. That's all I have left. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I honestly don't know what I'm doing wrong. It's unfortunate. I keep thinking that if I spray enough PB blaster on it, it's gonna eventually come loose, but it's not coming loose. Not at all. So again, I'm gonna have to figure out why this side over here is touching, because this ain't, I don't know if that's supposed to be touching there, but I'm gonna figure it out. Maybe after I drive it'll loosen. Maybe after I do the other side it'll loosen. I'm not really sure, but for now it is touching, which is weird. So I'm gonna put this wheel back on. Honestly, I'm putting the wheels on to the point where they're on. They're not, I'm not putting them on all the way, honestly, because of the fact that when I lower the car off the ground, I want to be able to see where it's at before I tighten everything. But they're on, like the lug nuts are tight. I just haven't had, I didn't tighten them all the way. Because again, I want to be able to, if I have to lift it up, just not as much work. I got it, y'all. I finally got it. So there are this bolt over here, or the nut over here, and then there's a bolt on this side essentially that also extends into this arm link, or yeah, it's a link because it links this sway bar with the control arm. Yeah, I think it's called the arm link. For some reason I'm drawing a blank now. All right, so you got to use a wrench on this side. Should have shown it before, but I didn't even know I was going to be able to get it on the other side. So you put a little wrench on this side, and essentially, let me go ahead and switch over. So my camera's actually about to die, so I'm gonna do this. But yeah, honestly, the way this is set up, I can just put this little wrench there and just keep on going. And now it's loose enough where I could probably just use my hand. So far, this feels, like I said before, OEM plus, and this is perfect. The car is low, feels cush. Now I have it on the exact same settings that it came from the factory, so it's a little bit stiffer than the OEM shocks, but obviously these are dampening, so you can, I think these have 32 levels, if either 32 or 36 levels or something like that of dampening adjustments. So essentially I can go stiffer or I can go softer. I like where it's at. It gives me the right amount of feedback, and like I said, perfect. No excuses to not get the MeisterR. And I have, again, this is my second set of MeisterR coilovers, and no complaints. Obviously, I've only been driving it for what, 3 or 4 minutes, and no complaints. I don't know who just texted me, but no complaints. I love the car. I love the way it rides. Honestly, what's left? So it's been a couple days now since, actually been 3-4 days since I put the coilovers on. And I did not finish the video because I did not like the fitment, essentially, of the car. So I still need to lower this, one. The other is that it's not exactly flush, and I don't plan on getting different wheels. So I'm actually gonna put spacers on. So I'm doing that right now. I'm putting spacers on, and I'm also gonna lower this after I drop it down to see how much lower it has to be in order to, honestly, it can probably go up an inch, but we'll see what it looks like with spacers, and then we'll determine how much lower it has to go. And with that said, hopefully it doesn't rub or nothing. So let's do that real quick. All right, so I just put the spacers on. I just wanted to show you guys. So this is the front. You can see, essentially, this is looking right down at it. You can see there's a little bit, it's pretty much flush. And then on the other side, looking right down at it, takes a lot more for you to come. So this is me at the line right here. It's about 1 inch in. I put 1/4 inch spacers. It did make somehow a much bigger difference. I do have to still lower the back a little bit, but I'll go show you the back as well. So this is the back from this angle, and then this angle. So you can see it's still, it's only a 1/4 inch, so it's not a huge difference, but I just wanted it to sit out a little bit more than it did. So it's not a huge difference, but that's what I wanted. So now take this wheel back off and lower it. So adjust the coilover, and then we'll see what it looks like. So before I lifted the car up, we had about 1 inch of space above this tire. Obviously when I lift it, the shocks now have to readjust. So now there's about 1.5 inches of space. So I'll have to remember that, so I'm not going exactly to the very minimum. So I'll only be lowering it 1 inch. So let's do that. All right, so we did it. It's all done. Babysitting. All right. It comes out just the perfect amount. Like it's crazy. And obviously it still looks like there's a lot of room, but it's not, I can't stick my fingers in there all the way. So let me check the other side, do the same thing. Yeah, can't stick my fingers all the way in there. And the same thing applies to the front. Can't stick my fingers all the way in because I hit tire. And yep. So it'll all even itself out whenever I drive the car for a little bit. But I washed the car, not the greatest job last night because it's warm right now. So super clean. Diffuser, side skirt, front lip should be here next week. Gorgeous car. I'm really digging these wheels, I'm not gonna lie. So with that said, I'm gonna take the car around for a spin, see how it goes. Obviously, I've already driven it after the coilovers, so I already know how they feel. But we're gonna drive it around, make sure everything's leveled off, and that's the end of the coilover video. Not much of a video installing coilovers. Now, after doing it 2 times, expect the unexpected. You're always gonna have bolts that break. Actually, I didn't have any bolts that broke this time, but I did on the Miata, picking up trash. And you're always gonna have bolts that don't come off, so you're gonna have to figure something else out. I ended up having to get a breaker bar because I didn't have one, never had to use one. So I had to get a breaker bar, but the fitment is on point now. On point. So you can't see it parallel to the car, but you come out a little bit, it's like almost flush. If you look at the center of the wheel here, it's actually flush with this, it's even, but obviously there's a little bit of camber, so it goes in. Beautiful, I love the way it looks. Lowering a car always makes it look different. I don't know why. So with that said, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything that I put out in the future. As always, peace.